Thank you for watching SESSA's YouTube video on mapping and recording solar water heaters in South Africa. We're constantly being questioned about how many solar waters have been installed and are we on target to reach the government's target of 1 million solar water heaters by 2014 and SESSA's target of 1 square meter of collector by 2020. Where do we need to allocate further resources to meet these targets? Solar water heating has not been effectively mapped in South Africa for a good few years. The last two estimates were in 2007 and 8, and they were showing 35,000 square meters per year, and there was a projection for 2009. We want to know where we are in terms of reaching our targets of either the 1 million or the 1 square meter, which is going to go ahead into the future. The biggest player at the moment collecting data is Eskom, because they pay a rebate when a form is submitted by a registered supplier. The information on these forms is broken down into 5 separate categories: system, supplier, installer, customer and electrician. The systems are important because they show the collector area of an individual system, the pressure of the system, whether it's a high pressure or low pressure, how big the tank is, the collector type being glazed flat plate collector or glazed evacuated tube, the circulation type being pumped or thermosiphon, the transfer type being direct or indirect, and the status of the SABS test on that particular system or the mark of that manufacturer. The detail on the suppliers shows the company name and the contact numbers and email addresses in case there are issues that need to be brought up with the supplier. The installer is recorded on the form and has to sign off the installation, and currently each installer is either appointed by the supplier or is an independent installer. The customer details that are important are the address, which province and town is the solar water heater installed, and it has an electricity meter number. Now with this we can go back in time to find out what the customer used before installing the solar water heater and then what they used afterwards. In other words, the effect of the solar water heater installation without having to put in fancy and expensive monitoring equipment. Finally, we record the electrician, and the use for this is that for pump systems there are not too many electricians who've had experience of pump systems in South Africa, and it'll be useful to take up their experience and spread it around the country. The answers that we can get from the data that is being collected is: are we going to meet the targets? Where are the most successful installations? What did they do right? How do we replicate it? And then really, how do we allocate resources from different regions to make sure we achieve it nationally? Mapping the results gives a good visual indication of where we are. We can meet international standards by showing the total glazed area per year and the growth in that. We can show it where it's being done nationally according to each of the 9 provinces, and the distribution of the resources where the suppliers, the installers and the electricians are based. And this will clearly give us indication of where we need to reallocate. So the projection of the future for water heaters in South Africa. Thank you very much. We look forward to cooperating with you to get our mapping program going.